Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniature. And look! Yet another Kingdom Death release! Yes, I am going to keep on doing these unboxing and building videos for as long as it takes me until I finally get those pinup pledges. I'm just getting impatient here. But anyway, this is a cool one. I really like the overall playful look compared to the usual dark and dystopian, horror that we have that is Kingdom Death usually. This is the Death High Holy Mage, and she's just having a blast. Splash it in the puddles, it looks like. Can I open it? Yes, I can. I should, because it was actually kind of cracked open on the way over. The box lid had dislodged, but everything was in the bag, so it didn't really matter. Well, I managed to get a lucky one. Ooh, I got a first run. I like the pinks. It's something different to paint. Might actually be fun. So, in case you've never seen or heard about these Death High models, these are like on a high-end 3D printer. They call it photoresin. So if you're familiar with printer resins, you are going to have to do a bit more cleanup. You can see all those little nubs that once upon a time had some kind of support sprue sticking off of there. So that's definitely going to need some cleanup. Here we have the actual body. I know some people complain how brittle these are. I haven't had that issue, and in fact, I have yet to break one of these, whereas I've broken plenty of regular Kingdom Death models. I feel like they're pretty thick and chunky. Actually stay together pretty well. Sadly, she does not have a custom base, but the more I think about it, very few Death High models have actually had custom bases. They usually have some kind of little base topper. And in this case, we have the puddle in the foot that it's attached to getting splashed in. And what is she carrying with her to school? I guess some kind of a holy symbol. And her school bag. Doesn't have any kind of Death High logo. She's got a pen in there. A couple of pens. I can never tell if these are supposed to be like little legs for it to actually sit on, or if they're just also leftover nubs from supporting the model when it got printed out. I don't know. But it doesn't look super complex, so I'm going to go ahead, I'll get her built, and I'll grab a few other Death High models and the Holy Mage, since I do have her painted already, just as a good excuse to show off a few models. So sit tight if you're into that kind of thing. Alright, I got our Holy Mage pretty much all put together, pretty much being the operative word there. I did not glue her head down because it's really nice and easy to remove and actually be able to get everything painted. I think I did a somewhat reasonable job trying to clean that up. Obviously, I'm going to go back over it, especially after viewing it on video and seeing spots that I missed. Those little spots are supposed to be there on the sides of her cloak slash hat slash rain jacket. As promised, I do have a painted Holy Mage with horrible looking eyes and quite a bizarre complexion. But she's got the same kind of shawl thing that she's got over her head there. Pose-wise, I don't know why, but she reminded me kind of the Savior, also one of the Death High versions. Get a couple other Death High people in here, Dragon Sacrifice. I guess if you want to get into precariously balanced figures, we have like the Azure Knight, or the Shadow Thief. All models that want to balance ever so delicately and cause me much stress when I end up dropping them inevitably. It's always going to happen. Overall, though, I like this model. She feels thicker. I mean, just the proportions, the model, she feels more steady and sturdy and stable, which for a Kingdom Death model is something that I always appreciate and look for. Believe it or not, there's been a few models that I've passed over just based on the fact that they look like they're going to fall over at a moment's notice, or there's just no possible way to get them to balance on that base when they're basically standing on their tippy toes and there's nowhere to even pin them in. That just, it worries me to no end, to the point where I don't even want to deal with it. In case you've never seen any of the Kingdom Death models and have no idea how big these things are, they are quite large. More in scale with some of the larger printed stuff out there. Or figures like Conquest, where you're getting closer to 35mm figures. So, something to be aware of if you want to mix and match them with other figure lines. I mean, the way she's dressed, she could probably get away with actually fitting into a fantasy game, I think. But, yeah. I mean, with the school look, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find an actual game for them at this point that uses them explicitly for that. Maybe as innocent bystanders in, like, Marvel or something. I know we've talked about using the Song of Blades and Heroes rules and having, you know, super-powered anime teens as appropriately, you know, demonstrated with a billion different high school animes out there. But the sky's the limit with our imaginations, right? So, one of the nice things as well about this being a Death High kit is, since it is in this photoresin and it gets printed up in batches of whenever they need them, if you are interested, you do not need to go negotiate with the scalpers online, because these models do tend to get restocked and ran quite regularly. There's usually a pretty good selection of them available on the Kingdom Death web shop, so if you don't see it immediately, they do seem to rotate things every month or so, so do check back. We'll put a link down below in case you've never been there, and hopefully you are not going to be scarred for life from viewing all of the things that are on there. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.